This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen. Don't listen to this podcast.
Don't listen to this.
If you're not of age.
What's of age?
18.
16?
18. We're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast.
Yes.
Good to be back.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a little break for us.
Yeah, a little break.
Not really.
I mean,
For us.
no,
for us.
we're not
Here,
even
recording-wise, I was saying.
It never happened.
Okay.
We were recording.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Hope everybody's doing good. Hope your drive's well.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Commute.
or you're like working the night shift, like
Yeah.
some of our homies.
True.
Yeah, that's right.
God bless you.
Tonight we have another VIP request that we are doing, and these people, we're not going to say this person, these people have been a supporter since the very beginning. We know them very well. It's for Bree and Matt, and
We love you.
we appreciate you guys. They're what we call rich people
Yes.
status.
They're also people we know personally.
Yeah, we know them personally.
We actually
Yeah,
personally know them.
Yeah. We're not going to say anything else.
Yeah, we'll leave
Personally.
it at that. A little more personal information.
But for Brianna and for Matt, they selected the Helen Keller hoax.
It's just, I can't even. I don't know. I can't even think about it. I'm like, ugh.
It is in the realm of absurd.
It's a little insane.
It is in that realm. I don't want to insult anybody either. So like this theory, while it's entertaining and we're gonna have fun with it, etc.
We were paid to do this.
Yeah.
This is all what it is.
I mean,
we were
I don't.
paid to do this.
Okay, so say the theory's wrong. Then we're just
There was
spending an hour
assholes.
shitting on a person who had a disability.
Not even one disability, multiple disabilities.
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
So I don't want to, just as a disclaimer, Helen.
This one's for you?
This one's for you. Helen, if you could hear us, this one's for you. Because when she deaf too?
Yeah, true. She's all the things.
This
Yeah.
one's for you,
So,
girl.
and in summary, so
She's blind
She
as shit. Damn it.
she's also dead.
Oh. Well, maybe now she can see and
see
hear.
you.
Oh my god.
We're off to great.
But we don't mean to be insensitive.
Yeah.
You know, we just.
But in short, Helen Keller is known as an American author, a political and disability rights activist, a lecturer, and a world traveler. Her remarkable journey began when she became a deaf-blind child
This is like
at 19 months old.
it's
Basically
it's like the double,
born, yeah.
like the double
Yeah.
whammy. Like, how do you learn? How do you become a speaker? How do you learn how to speak when you can't hear? Like,
It's crazy.
yeah, man.
Unless it's a hoax.
It's weird? Like when you.
Unless it's a hoax, but we can.
I mean,
find
no,
out
it's
today.
weird. Like I when I hear myself talk, I think it's weird. I'm like, what the fuck?
What about when you watch yourself like on video?
Oh, it's bizarre.
It's the worst, right?
Well, remember we
Hate
used to have headphones, and I would listen to I would hear myself. I'm like, God, I sound fucking weird.
Yeah.
So
Anyways.
this theory took off on TikTok. Go figure.
Oh, fucking classic.
Yeah, this is a TikTok conspiracy.
I actually
basically.
feel worse now.
Yeah.
Now that I know it's TikTok conspiracy.
But the general consensus on TikTok conspiracy is that she faked it She faked her achievements. She couldn't write a book. She couldn't fly a plane. And the theory is that her teacher was a behind the scenes just phony.
Her teacher was
like a front, basically.
Well, I mean,
or maximize profits.
So
you're deaf.
I mean, we'll
trust me.
Yeah, we'll get into it more.
Sell.
We'll get into it more, but I mean, essentially, so she had a teacher, and her name was Anne Sullivan, and the theory is that Anne Sullivan was like, I'm doing really well with my student, but she's deaf-blind, so she just faked being a good teacher. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So say you're commissioned to teach a deaf-blind person how to do something, and you're paid.
Like there's no like baseline. There's no like.
Yeah,
what do you
like
compare
that-
it to?
Look, she's alive. I deserve a raise.
We're making great progress
I know.
here.
Like, look at her.
Trust me.
She's doing great. She didn't do that before.
Yeah.
Whatever she's doing right now, I taught her that.
So Helen Keller was born on June 27th, 1880 in Alabama.
Damn, God, it's just like
It's old.
not only
Yeah,
are
this
you
is older.
born like 19 months, you're deaf and blind. It's also the 1800s. God damn it! Like
Worst.
I know it's like the worst possible.
Yeah. It's like a 2-7 on the cards. It's real bad. She was the firstborn daughter of Arthur Captain Henley Keller and Kate Everett Keller. She had 4 siblings, 2 older brothers from her father's first marriage, and 2 younger siblings who were 6 and 11 years different in age. The family lived in a home called Ivy Green, and in the 1880s had become a busy, prosperous little town, which is Tuscumbia.
Sounds like fucking.
Where's
Zamunda.
that at? Where's that at?
Like,
It's Alabama.
Welcome to America.
Alabama.
It's Alabama. Yeah. While they struggled with money, the family was able to sustain a lower upper middle class position. So lower upper middle class.
How can you be lower?
Yeah,
upper? Lower upper.
it's either
middle.
lower middle or upper middle, I guess.
Okay.
Lower upper middle.
Here's the concept. You shop at Whole Foods, but you're not rich.
So is that upper or lower
It's
upper?
lower upper.
Okay.
Well, what if I don't shop at Whole Foods?
Well, then you're in lower.
I'm just like
Yeah,
I'm a peasant.
you're
I'm like
right.
a
Peasant.
You're not making it, bud.
Poverty.
You're not
like,
making it, bud.
well, I go to Publix, but I still go to Walmart for like water.
Well, Publix is actually upper. I mean, that's expensive.
You know what's more
That's true,
expensive?
man.
Whole Foods.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I wonder where Trader Joe's is.
Lower upper.
Ooh.
No,
yeah, I think lower
no.
upper middle.
Yeah, lower upper middle.
It's lower upper middle.
I would say Trader Joe's is middle.
No, Trader Joe's
Straight
is
mid.
Trader Joe's is so cheap though.
I know.
It's
good.
like crazy, but
and
but
those
like
hash
just a
browns?
45-minute dude. I've got 2
What'd you say?
packs in the freezer.
What'd you say?
The hash browns.
Oh yeah.
They get like the McDonald's style hash brown, bro. And
There's-
I air fry them to like
Yeah.
crazy crispy.
There's not a lot of food that I'm aroused by, but
like a crispy hash brown.
oh, and you can do six
It's
of
like-
them.
I know, that's like a whole fucking plate.
Like I don't need 2. I need fucking 6 right now. Just big old stack.
Dude, I got some and I was like, I literally just put fucking the Publix gourmets on them. I was like, God, I'm such a piece of shit.
Dude, I'll get crispy ones. I'll get
Fuck it.
soft ones. I'll get even frozen ones.
just like eat them.
Oh damn. Okay.
Damn, they're so good.
Snack on that at night, watching TV. some Frozen.
Anywho's, I don't think they had Trader Joe's or Whole Foods back then. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
but this family, the Keller family, was in the lower upper middle class.
Fine. Whatever. I
Sure.
guess.
Whatever.
That
Her
exists.
Yeah.
Her father had been a captain in the Confederate Army. That's why he had the nickname Captain blah, blah, blah. He married Kate in 1878. She was 22. He was 42.
Oh wow.
Totally fine.
I guess you could do that back in the day, even if you weren't rich.
Totally fine.
Well, he was lower upper.
Yeah.
so.
Lower upper middle.
He
So,
was
like,
good.
He's got just enough coin to fucking seduce her.
to pull the 22-year-old.
But
that's-
you see this 1.5 bedroom house, baby girl. Get over here.
As you can see from this episode, it's gonna be a little bit more,
Ridiculous.
yeah, our own commentary.
Yeah.
So 20 years, is that fine?
Oh, totally.
Totally.
100%.
Yeah.
But
Especially back in those
but
days.
42-22 is a solid number. That's
Oh,
fine.
for sure. It wasn't like he was like, it was like 38-14.
Yeah.
That would be like,
All right.
whoa.
All right,
Probably
right on.
still fine back then.
Yeah.
Back then, yeah.
So Kate, who had lived a Southern belle lifestyle, uprooted her life and quickly realized how little the two had in common. Instead of the lavish life she was once used to, she now tended to her own garden, prepared their own foods, bacon, ham, butter, etc., to cut costs.
Oh, man.
When-
So she married down.
She did. She married down. Yeah.
He must have been
And she was
flying over
22. He was 42. I mean, I mean, it's like right around our age. Well,
Right.
not his, but
Around ours. Yeah.
yeah.
That's good. That's fine.
He must have had a good, like, he must have been like hella game. Dude,
He's a captain.
Spitting bars, bro.
Captain
Like,
in, well, he was in the Confederate Army.
I know, like, loser. Like, he's like, he like, can't even, like, he like hides his medals because he doesn't want people to know.
So when Helen came along, Kate was thrilled to direct her attention to her.
Nice.
The very early years of Helen's life were normal. She was a healthy and happy child. Her mother said she was gifted when she began to speak at 6 months old, and she was walking by 1.
Damn.
Wow.
That is until tragedy struck. Helen got extremely sick with a high fever when she was only 19 months. Doctors at the time believed she had something called brain fever. Today, experts say that that's more along the lines of scarlet fever or meningitis.
Okay.
So you're 19 months old and you get, I mean, it's
Scarlet
meningitis or whatever. It sounds like meningitis more than
Not-
scarlet fever.
you got the brain heat.
Yeah. You got the dysentery. You got the dysentery.
Just like Oregon Trail.
I know. So, I mean, it's right around that time.
Good point.
After recovering, her mother said that she no longer responded to the dinner bell and she was unable to see hand waving in front of her face. So this sickness left Helen Keller deaf and blind.
Damn. That sucks.
And for those of you who don't know what deaf and blind is, it's you can't see and you can't hear.
I mean,
Everybody knows.
if they didn't
just
know,
saying,
that-
just
we
for the-
just got to clarify.
Just for the no, I
for
just for
Sean
saying.
or what?
what you mean? What you mean? She
saying.
deaf blind?
So it's I've never met somebody deaf blind,
No, I've met
Have you?
someone. I met both.
Deaf
sides. I've
or
met
blind?
deaf and or blind. Yeah, but never deaf.
but it's like
blind.
the double whammy, the double devil's horn.
I've never heard that expression. The devil's horn? Like, what? We're leaving that in. 100%. Like, no way I'm taking that.
Oh man, I started sweating on that one. The family with little knowledge on deaf blindness, because now that's one word, deaf blindness, began to raise her as they knew her as a hearing family would. So meaning they thought that she could maybe hear something, but she was definitely blind.
They're just like yelling at her.
Yeah.
Helen!
They thought she could hear, but she was deaf. You mean? I don't know. Go back and say
No,
that.
as a hearing family. Like meaning she could hear, but she was blind.
They thought that she could hear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously when you could tell when somebody's blind.
Yeah, because you're
Yeah.
like, bitch. I'm like, don't
Yeah.
flinch. You're like, what?
But being deaf is a little bit harder because you're like,
Why would they be doing that?
I like the shit.
What?
Flexing
Fucking
on
lunch
you.
money. Oh, God. And she's like, they're like, damn.
But I mean, somebody who's deaf, you kind of go, are they hearing me?
Or it's ignoring me.
Right.
Yeah, are they hearing anything?
Kind of like my kids.
I was going to say, like, my daughter, like, sometimes I'm like, is something wrong?
Right.
But then she looks at me and she's like, no. And then, like, runs away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, asshole.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
So Helen recalls those early years in darkness and describes it as lost at sea in a dense fog. She
How
would.
the fuck? Okay.
Okay,
sorry.
let's get to it. Yeah, I know. Because if she can't see,
How
or
the
she
fuck
can't
can she
hear,
communicate? Like, I don't understand.
She would cling to her mother's skirt as she tended to household chores. She would feel people's hands as they did things and quickly developed 60 plus home signs.
Okay.
Okay. I love you.
But
I
no.
love
But
you.
like home, meaning like just like in her home.
I meant
she,
like
she
she
came
just-
up with her own
basic
sign.
stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Like dinner.
yeah.
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 Give me another one. Go,
Classic
go.
home sign.
Give me another one.
Another beer, man.
Another beer.
like fucking, this deaf blindness ain't good. I don't like it.
You gotta drown it out.
I know. Gotta drown it out. Gotta fucking drown my sorrows.
Are we gonna get a lot of shit for this episode?
Fuck yeah.
so.
100%. Guaranteed. It's okay though.
Oh God. So, as an example, she learned how to milk cows through feeling others, and she would act like she was cutting a loaf of bread if she wanted a slice.
The fact that she how do you even know? How do you even know what bread is?
Although she can't say she can't do the mouth thing I did.
Why not? She can make.
Yeah, she can make
Oh,
sounds.
she can talk.
Well, she just doesn't know what it sounds like.
Well, you know what I heard?
She was deaf, blind. Yeah, so.
Yeah, she wasn't mute.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, even if you're mute, you can still.
True.
True.
Click. It's
True.
like you just don't talk. You
True.
can make sound.
True. Yeah, but there's the example of somebody who is deaf, who they sound different.
Well, yeah, because they can't hear themselves. So they're like, yeah, no. I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just what they sound like. It's full fact. Like it's just because you're able to temper like the way you talk because you can hear yourself talk. It's true.
No,
Imagine if
I'm
you,
not
you'd be
disagreeing.
like, I'd be like, Eric, hello.
I'm not disagreeing.
Anyways,
Edit.
So she also learned to identify people by feeling their face, clothes, or vibrations in the house.
doing a little Ray Charles.
Yeah, that makes
some,
sense.
like,
Yeah.
you know,
little
like
Ray Charles, like
yeah.
feeling a wrist.
Yeah.
do you remember Face Off where they would do the?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
I don't think she.
I've seen Face Off. I've seen the movie, and apparently they're gonna remake it. Idiots.
Ooh,
Really?
with them?
Fucking remaking everything, man.
I heard it might be with them.
With the?
But they'd be
then
like
that's
so
fine.
old.
That's fine.
It's
If they're
like
in
what's
it,
gonna be like later, like Grandpa
Yeah.
Face Off. Like I don't.
we're gonna do Face Off again.
Face Off too. Like
Off.
they switch back.
I want to take your face off.
And Die Hard 13's coming out too.
I know it's like
Shit.
fucking die last.
So her mom would even knock on the walls to call Helen for dinner.
Oh, 'cause she could feel the vibrations.
That's right. Her other three senses were incredibly heightened, and Helen was innovative given her means.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see it. She's like fucking Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
A good example is Stevie Wonder. There's a lot of stories out there.
I mean, it might be a good example of a hoax.
There's a lot of good examples where he would, I think even some celebrities have said, he would get on the elevator with them.
Yeah, Shaq.
Was it Shaq's story?
Yeah, and he's like, "What's up,
And it's
Shaq?"
like, yeah. He's like, "What's up, Shaq?" And he presses like 56.
And he presses his
out of like 100.
I know. And
Yeah,
then
you're
it was
like,
like,
well-
what the fuck?
Yeah.
But maybe like he knew how Shaq smelled, which even sounds worse.
Yeah.
Shaq's here.
That makes sense.
I don't know, but have you seen the stuff where like somebody like it's at a concert or some shit, someone like waves at Stevie Wonder and he waves back?
I saw that.
I'm like, he
It
can't
was-
fucking feel the vibration in a wave. Like, let's be honest, that motherfucker can see.
But the idea is that if your one sense is cut, then
the other
you know,
one's
over 20,
heightened
30
up.
years,
Yeah.
then you're,
True.
you're a little like,
Which is-
what's the comic book guy?
The what?
I just said Daredevil. I
Oh,
said-
you did
yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't hear that.
It's like
We're going to
say
edit that.
Daredevil.
You didn't.
Nope, not. I'm sick of covering for you.
So while Helen was very clever, she became frustrated because of her inability to communicate like others. There was an incident where she overturned her baby sister's crib, luckily being caught by her mother in time, like kind of in a fit of rage, you know.
Maybe she knew the baby was there. I was like,
Well,
oh, you're gonna be all fucking normal.
I would be mad. I would be very mad. Wouldn't you just be mad?
Oh, for sure.
You can't
Raging
see
out
anything. You
at
can't
life.
hear anything.
Dude,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'd be done.
Oh, for sure. I'd fucking.
I mean, I'm not saying.
I'd vibrate here to myself to a cliff.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, fuck you, mom. Like, fucking, peace.
Oh my god. We're gonna get canceled.
She would. God damn it. She would stand between two people having a conversation and feel their lips while they were talking. And she would try to
touching their lips.
Yes.
Like face off on both.
She's like, keep talking.
Everything's normal.
I know.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Just pretend like nothing's happening.
Like her fingers like in their mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I feel like she was just doing that just to be a weirdo.
Well,
it
she
helps me.
apparently
Some sexual
apparently
thing.
I know. Like, I need to be touching your back.
apparently she would try to mimic the same movements within herself. So she would like see you doing like you know, bitches and hoes,
She would
and then
see?
she would try to. Well, she wouldn't see anything, but yeah. Is it?
I know it's
Yeah,
so hard to
yeah.
even
I
communicate
know.
with like knowing what's happening.
She would erupt in temper tantrums, and soon her family knew that they had to get help before, like they can't deal.
Of course, I'm surprised that she made it that far.
Yeah.
I would have fucking.
The dad was like
out.
like a Civil War veteran who knew how to skin rabbits, and that was about it. There was no
diehard racist, like fucking Confederate captain.
So Helen's father, in January of 1887, wrote to Michael Aganis, the director of Perkins School for the Blind, and requested a teacher for young Helen. Luckily, around this time, a promising student named Anne Sullivan had graduated as valedictorian from Perkins. In June of 1886, that would go on to become a lifelong component of Helen Keller's life.
Wait, so
she's
blind. Anne?
Literally the blind leading the blind.
So Anne Sullivan had almost no usable sight until she was 15 years old, where she restored some of her vision.
How? Did she get LASIK?
She remained visually impaired for the rest of her life. So then she was able to go to the Perkins School. So Anne Sullivan's journey was nothing easy. She contracted a bacterial eye disease called trachoma at the age of 5. This infection left her partially blind. By age 8, her mother died and her father abandoned her, and her little brother Jimmy within 2 years of her death.
Wow, what a fucking douche.
So the two kids were sent to a poorhouse called Tewksbury in Massachusetts, which is a home for orphans, criminals, and rejects.
I feel like it's where like Annie was like.
I know, dude.
Tewksbury. The guy sounds terrible.
Sounds like Voldemort's beginning.
He's like,
doesn't it?
Yeah, he's like in the little like prison and like
Dumbledore comes in.
Dumbledore comes and like the bookcase that's on fire.
Yeah.
He's like,
I feel like this guy's evil, but I'm not going to do anything.
I can talk to snakes before I kill him. It's like sick.
He's like, it's the prophecy, but I'm not going to pursue it. I'm going to let it happen. No big deal. Okay. So 3 months after arriving at that orphanage, Anne's little brother died, and she was subjected to horrors in the overcrowding of the housing. The building had a 500-person capacity, but it was at 2,000 occupants during her time.
Jesus fucking Christ.
There are unconfirmed reports of cannibalism, sexual abuse, and corruption within the orphanage.
Damn.
Yeah. Anne was able
to
to
get that bad. So these kids, the kids are like, you look fucking delicious.
What's that book where they? What's that book where the kids go to the island?
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's
no.
It's a Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, Lord of the Flies. Yeah. It's basically Lord of the Flies, but an orphanage.
Lord of the Orphanage.
Yeah. Anne was able to get out and sought an education and eye surgery, so good for her. Finally, leading her to Perkins School for the Blind, and later being selected for Helen Keller's family.
I mean, you would think that she would be like prime target for like, first on the dinner menu. She's like, but she can't defend herself. She's blind. Like,
True.
You think they would just like pick her off like easy pickings? So good for her for getting out.
So Anne Sullivan, 20 years old, she arrived in Alabama on March 3rd, 1887, and immediately began communicating with the then 6-year-old Helen using finger spelling. So that's the concept of tracing your finger on your palm. So you go P, or you go whatever. The confusing part about it for me, though, is how do you learn the alphabet before that?
I know, because like she was blind and deaf when she was 16 months. Yeah, and like how... I mean, I know they said she was talking, but I highly doubt she was like ripping the ABCs off before.
Yeah.
Then. I don't know. Maybe
But
she was.
if she's
Maybe
talking,
she was a badass.
But
6
apparently-
months, or what was
so-
it? Like some.
Yeah, it was like 6 months, and then
18 months,
maybe
19
she was
months,
like a savant. Maybe she's just like
Yeah.
But
fucking
apparently at the Perkins School, they teach you how to, that's like a method. So I'm assuming she learned some shit at Perkins School.
Yeah.
And it was how to teach somebody who's blind, or not blind and deaf, but blind, how to do the alphabet on your palm. You know what I mean? Like it makes
legit.
it seems
so
like you
funny to
could.
me.
At first, Helen did not take to the motions and became frustrated with Anne, biting, scratching, and hitting her. She later recalled thinking how spoiled Helen had been because of her family shaping their lives around her needs and demands and never-ending tantrums.
It's so funny.
She's like, that bitch has everything.
Yeah.
I know. It's like,
Jesus.
damn it. I can never imagine being like,
I
oh,
know.
this blind deaf person,
Yeah.
spoiled little
Fucking
bitch.
spoiled.
Like, I know.
She's the opposite of spoiled.
But meanwhile, this chick's like also blind and like grew up in the fucking like the
Dude.
trap.
Right.
I know. Like six
She's
of my
the
best
only one that qualifies as calling her spoiled.
6 of my best friends got eaten.
I know. So finally, at dinner one night, Helen was helping herself to everyone's plates of food gathered at the table. A famous scene from The Miracle Worker, which is a It's a story about this exact scene.
Also, Helen's like literally eating off everyone.
As she got to Anne's plate, Anne made it impossible for her to get the food. Helen became angry, but Anne kept her foot down, even demanding the family out of the room after they tried to intervene. Following that, basically she's like, I'm canceling your spoiledness.
You're done.
And I'm going to teach you compared to you grabbing everything you want. Oh, this is mine. Oh, that is mine. You know what I mean? Like that was the
Totally. I mean,
that makes sense.
That's great. I'm like, do it.
Yeah.
You're going to learn today.
Yeah, you're going to learn today.
How ruthless do you have to be, though, to do that to like a deaf blind kid?
I don't know.
I guess she had her own horror.
That's her job.
She had her own horror thing. And,
I'm sure.
She's blind.
She's not going to feel bad for her.
She's like numb to that.
She's like, I have no sympathy.
Yeah. Oh, of course not. She's like, bitch, I can't see. Shut up. Tell the family.
I can hear your fucking shit.
I know. It's like, I hear your little grubby fingers.
Following that day, Anne knew that in order to further her teachings with Helen, she would have to separate her from the home she had to come to rely on. The family agreed and allowed the two to stay in a cottage that was on their plantation grounds.
Mm-hmm. I thought there was like, I'm going to take her down to Tewksbury.
Oh my God.
show her what life's really like.
Although it's like a red flag to me whenever I hear in the late 1800s in the South, in Alabama, from an ex-Civil War veteran. Plantation. I always hear it. And
I know in the cottage, I was like, is that the slave quarters? Like, ooh.
This is where progress for Helen's education really began. The first 2 weeks were challenging because Helen was confused as to what this strange new person in her life was doing to her. But despite her aggravation, Anne remained patient, placing items in Helen's hand while finger spelling the object's name. So you basically put a can, and then in this hand you finger spell can, C-A-N. Yeah, pretty simple, actually. Anne had arrived in Alabama in early March, and by April 5th, Helen had a monumental breakthrough. While running Helen's hand under a flowing water pump and signing water, a new light came to her face, and it all made sense. She signed back water for the first time. And because of her own excitement, Helen learned 30 vocabulary words within 6 months. Helen would then learn over 570 words and learn Braille.
Damn, good for her.
Wow.
Yeah, because I would have just given up.
You would
like,
vibrated to the cliff, like you said.
Oh, like, no way.
I'm not even kidding. Like, no I know we joke, but
I mean, if that happened to me right now, I'd be like,
I mean, you really have to reevaluate.
I mean, I'll figure out where my safe is, and fucking I'll feel the code, and I'll feel that safety right off.
Anne's teaching techniques were unique in the sense that she talked to Helen just as she would anyone else. She would finger spell out full concepts and try to answer whatever questions that Helen had about the world around her, despite the time of day or the complexity of the question. She allowed Helen to feel the vibrations from her throat as she spoke and use her hands to understand her mouth movements and nose breathing patterns.
Wow.
But still, it still seems so difficult. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, you can, but you still can't, read their lips because they're blind. And then, man, imagine if you ask, like, what is the universe? And, she's 17 hours later, finger spelling.
Can you imagine trying to explain the universe?
Oh, my God. I'd be like, no.
Too complicated. Yes.
Sorry.
She became known as teacher to Helen and was never called anything otherwise. And Anne stood by her side for the rest of her life.
Damn, that's a dedication. She was still getting paid?
I don't really know the monetary.
Overtime.
I mean,
160 hours this week.
I'm sure she was getting paid. I
just don't know how this upper lower middle class family is going to be.
Yeah, I would assume it's not a lucrative business.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. By 1888, Anne knew that she had reached her limit of education with Helen and took her to the Perkins School for the Blind, the same school that she attended earlier. It was here that Helen began formal education. She recalled, I joined the little blind children in their work and play and talked continually. I was delighted to find that nearly all of my new friends could spell with their fingers. Oh, what happiness. To talk freely with other children, to feel at home in the great world. That's Helen.
I'm sorry. It's just like
It's hard to
hard to conceptualize talking freely.
Yeah,
with your finger.
And you're like, everyone like just write on me. They talk for like. It's hard. It's great for her. I mean, good. It's fucking good for you, girl. Yeah. But man,
it's hard to fathom.
It's really it's hard to conceptualize it because like I'm so used to talking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
After a falling,
imagine a kid too though, because at that point she's probably like, I don't know, what was it, like maybe around 10 years old or something.
Well, this is 1888, so she's
so she's still a kid.
She was born in
1880, so she's 8.
Oh wow.
So yeah, she's 8. And so apparently, and we'll put this on our Patreon, but that's her first letter at 7.
Damn, she writes fucking better than I do.
Wow, okay.
She wrote that shit?
Yeah.
How?
Well, supposedly.
Huh?
Supposedly. Watch it just be
some ChatGPT
and
shit.
Sullivan just being like,
and she's like, how do I write like a deaf-blind chick?
Or like Ann Sullivan's like, I got to drink a little bit and then I'm gonna do a little letter. Yeah,
like, it can't be
making great progress. Great progress here.
Great progress. Like she wrote this fucking letter. Meanwhile, like fucking Helen's over in the corner, like I'm hungry. Like, I like the ChatGPT. I'm sorry, I could ChatGPT, write me a deaf-blind letter.
So after a falling out that they had with the school's director, Helen and Anne left the Perkins School. They didn't really know what they wanted to do later, but afterwards the duo traveled to the Northeast to further her schooling. It wasn't always easy for the two of them, though. So in college, the proctors, which were, people who inspected and watched tests that were being happening, kids. Yeah. The proctors were to prove that Keller was not a fraud. But there was still gossip both on and off campus about whether it was Keller or it was Sullivan who was completing the work. Ooh, so these rumors, this is not a rumor that started on TikTok.
Oh, this started, the proctors were
started. One of Keller's proctors, who was a former Perkins Institution teacher, recalled that the dean put certain rules in place for Keller's exams. Quote, Miss Sullivan was to leave the building when the exam started. She, the dean, would pay personally for 2 proctors, one to proctor Helen and another to proctor Helen's proctor. Wow. This is so many proctors.
I mean, wow, they're really like, they're like, nah, this is bullshit.
Yeah, I'm glad we cleared up
the
proctor was.
They're really trying. The proctor of the proctor. There was 17 proctors.
Manager of the manager. Some corporate shit.
Yeah. Somewhere like they're on the Boeing strategy here.
What do you do here? I'm the Boeing proctor.
I just watch him watch this other guy do stuff.
The former Perkins teacher had a Braille typewriter to translate questions for Helen. Anne began to question her place in Helen's life at this time, but was consistently reassured through their friendship. So that was the big test, essentially. Yeah?
But, like, obviously she passed.
Yeah, she passed. But the rumors persisted.
Of course.
And, this is not possible. This is... it's like building the pyramids. No way. Impossible. La, la, la. The rumors started back then.
It's man-made.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they're like, they had apartments and they had fucking benefits. Like, fucking shut up, Eric.
By the way, I was at a dinner the other night and the pyramids came up. I don't know how.
Probably because we have a conspiracy.
Surprisingly, a lot of people don't believe humans built them.
No shit.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what we've been trying to tell you.
For
the last year.
I think
more than that.
Well, yeah, but since we started this shit.
I think it's like 80% of people.
For sure.
Don't think that
because it doesn't make sense and not everyone's as dumb as you.
Really high percentage.
Well, come on this way.
I know. It's like, don't you want to be a part of the majority?
Yeah. Want to be part of the majority. By 1904, Helen had become the first deaf-blind person to graduate with a bachelor's degree and with honors.
I mean, I couldn't even fucking finish. And I'm fully blind, fully
It's like I'm only partially blind, partially deaf.
I know. I was like blind to party, and I was like, I don't see the schoolwork no more.
Also, with Anne, she purchased her own home in Massachusetts.
How is she getting cash?
She also...
They was handing loans out back in the 1800s?
Upper middle.
Lower.
Yeah.
She also published her first autobiography book called The Story of My Life.
Please tell me she narrated it. Dude, I'm
Got
gonna
the audiobook.
Dude, I'll go on fucking
Audible.
right now
Dude.
and fucking listen to that shit.
In
Oh
19
my God, I need it.
In 1905, Anne Sullivan married John Macy, who sparked the idea of socialism and politics in the mind of young Helen Keller.
I'm sorry.
The three lived together in their home until they got divorced in 1914. So they were living together for 10 years, and Helen was, I don't want to say the third wheel, but
basically she was,
she was basically the third wheel.
Wait, the homie married Anne, and then Helen was just like there.
Yeah.
And she's like, don't worry, baby. She can't hear
Yeah.
us. But she can feel the vibrations through the house. She knows what we doing.
Talk about a devotion. Jeez.
I know. I mean, it's also like you can't just like leave. Like she.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she can. Bitch got a bachelor's degree with honors. Like
Honors?
she's fine.
She owns her home.
Yeah,
She's a homeowner.
It's
In
like,
Massachusetts.
damn, she's actually doing way better than I
Yeah.
am. Like she's crushing it, and I'm over here feeling sorry for her. She's fucking crushing life.
Okay. By 1916, Helen had a romance of her own with a man named Peter Fagan. However, the two would never go on to marry because of her family and Anne's disapproval. Why?
He's like, I need to get that house. I need a place to sleep.
Yeah.
I need a place to sleep.
I need to get into that upper middle
The
class.
upper middle lower.
That's my ticket.
My ticket out of poverty, baby.
Also, at the time, it wasn't really socially acceptable to marry a handicapped person.
Okay.
It was like a social stigma. Like,
I don't know. I mean, it seems like he had like that was like the perfect
this
situation
is
for him.
1916.
Like he's like, baby, I'm watching football. She can't say shit.
Yeah, but
Like,
perfect.
I know,
Perfect setup.
I know. I got red zone on. Fucking 7 hours.
So I gotta say something about Peter Fagan. Okay, so you're at the bar. You already know where I'm going.
Yeah, dude, I just like saw the whole thing. I saw the whole.
You know where I'm going.
Oh,
Like,
for sure, dude. I just lived it.
it's like 1:30 a.m.
and you're like,
and you got
the chick's like looking at the wall.
you got
Then you're like, what's she doing over there?
you got Helen Keller in the back. This
Hey,
guy takes
let me
advantage of
let me
Helen
holler at
Keller.
you. And she don't pay attention. And so he's like,
Oh, you playing hard to
"Are you
get?"
playing hard to get? let me holler at you. I said, you got digits?
I mean,
I'm not saying that,
we're
like,
gonna
what's
get
your postal code?
I'm guessing we're gonna get about 3 or 4 1-star reviews on this.
I know,
one.
right?
Oh, that's fine. Whatever. I don't give a
But
shit.
no. What I'm trying to get to though is like he took advantage of her.
I mean, unless
Do you know what I mean?
unless she was like, let's go. She was like,
finger right.
come on,
Let's
let's go.
I know, but
Take
how do
me
you?
home.
He knows that's. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you get what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, but maybe he was like,
How do you know she didn't like face swipe him and like fucking
like touch his lips, like talk to me.
She like kept swiping
She-
down
she-
and further down. She's like, all right,
Dude,
we
she
good.
was. She would have been fucking. She would have killed Tinder. By the way.
She kept swiping. I was like, wait, what's happening? What are you doing? He's just like,
So
she's like,
I guess the point I'm trying to make. I don't like Peter Fagan. I think he. You know what I mean?
Just taking advantage.
Taking advantage.
Shit, maybe he was just trying to get on the
She's a
on the-
deaf, blind person.
She needs love too, bro.
It's not like you have a pickup line.
Dog, you saying that she doesn't deserve?
No. I'm not
get
saying.
hers?
No. She
Yeah,
should
that's
get.
right.
No. I'm saying she should get hers, but he.
How do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
maybe,
don't know.
I'm with Hora. I
Maybe-
think maybe like
maybe
she
it was nice.
I
Maybe
think
it was
maybe she
beautiful.
fucking showed up and maybe she was just like, but they bumped into each other. He's like, oh, my bad. And then she's like,
so they're at the bar. It's like 1:30. She like bumps in.
She has like
oh,
6 gin and teas.
Hold up a second. let me face swipe this. Hold up.
her face like this, like, oh, that's not bad.
Okay, so you're at a bar, and a girl comes up and face swipes you.
I might be into it. But I'd be like, oh, okay, then we're gonna go there. And then like we just the whole time I think that she's just purposely
I'm
not
into
talking to
it.
me, and I'm like,
Right.
okay, where we going then? And she just leaves me on the hand, okay. And then the next day I'm like, so anyways.
Fuck.
Dude, I don't know, that face swipe move seems pretty legit.
It does.
Yeah.
Especially like a drunk dude
So-
in the
so-
1800s.
so-
He's like, ooh.
So if you're one of our 8% females, give the face swipe a move.
Dude, I guarantee. Well,
Try it.
Well,
First of
No,
all,
no, don't. Yeah.
No, first of all, if you're a female, you don't really have to do anything. We're men, we're retarded. So like, if we're at the bar, just be like, "Hey," and we're like, "Yeah, what's up?" And we're you talking to me?
I love you too.
I know, like, yeah, let's go, let's get married. I love you too.
Okay, so back to the story.
Anyways,
So they broke up, right?
yeah, family's like
Disapproval. It
Eric's
didn't work
like the
out.
dad. He's like,
Yeah, he's like,
you took
no,
advantage
no,
of
no.
my daughter.
Yeah. She's blind.
And
deaf. Around this time, somebody by the name of Polly Thompson was brought in as a secretary for Helen.
Okay.
So now it's a trio of girls. It's
like-
Polly, it's Helen, and it's Anne.
Anne, yeah.
Yeah.
How is she affording her own secretary?
She's rich.
Where is this money
rich.
coming
Killing it.
from?
Yeah, she's killing it. She's
Like,
a celeb at
It
this
wasn't
point.
like an inheritance.
Didn't she just like sell a book and all this shit?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you would try not the same industry, but what's his name who passed? Stephen Hawking. He's a celeb. No, I know, but I mean he's a handicapped celeb. Like similar. Obviously, she's not doing like mathematics and
advanced
theory.
physics.
Yeah. But similar celeb,
right.
like maybe speaking engagements. She can't speak, so maybe. Fuck.
Well, she can't.
There's so many limitations.
She's only blind and deaf. That doesn't mean she can still speak.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah,
she was-
yeah. That's right.
Yeah, because she even said in the beginning she was doing like
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe they're
Or she
like
could be like one of those like Kardashian or Paris Hilton style. Then she just gets paid to just show up. Influencer.
influencer taking fucking selfies with people.
Dude.
She just shows up at the bar just to bring the crowd
I
in.
know, right?
Honestly,
They're like, look what we got today. We got karaoke with Helen Keller. It's my fucking hot ticket item, baby.
So instead, the three women moved into a new home in Long Island. Over the years, Anne's health began to worsen, Polly picking up the slack and learning the manual alphabet to communicate with Helen. So sadly, Anne passed away on October 20th, 1936 at the age of 70.
Damn.
With Helen by her side.
But wait. That's why I'm like, that's so confusing because then like homegirl's got to learn like the physical alphabet, but how's she doing speaking engagements? Is she touching everyone's hand, telling them what's up? You know, like why can't? Oh, maybe she can talk, but then they have to talk back to her with the hand.
With the hand.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
But what's weird is you can't correct yourself because you can't hear yourself.
No.
So if you say locomotive, like you learn locomotive, and then you say it, you can't hear it, but you're like,
No.
I knew that was coming.
I want to do this whole episode like that, dude, straight up.
in character.
Oh yeah.
You should have done a Helen Keller character.
like, you listen to me.
We do a podcast and you're doing finger signs.
Oh my god.
Help me.
This is not funny, guys.
It's so funny. It's funny for like
Yeah.
18 people. Who
I
are
know.
gonna
I mean, this is 100 years ago. What are we going to do? Helen described the discovery of Anne as she touched her face, saying instantly she knew it was not the same. The features were fixed, waxen. All of Annie's warmth and vitality were gone.
Oh, she knew she was dead.
Yes. And so she said, apparently, she said, it's not teacher. When it was the new girl, basically.
Oh,
okay.
she's touching the new girl.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought
yeah.
she was like touching like her like corpse. And like, oh shit, you're done.
Over the years, Helen's success and moving story would be heard all around the world. She helped with the Massachusetts Commission for the Blind, the American Foundation for Overseas Blind, and the American Civil Liberties Union, just to name a few. She would go on a series of world tours to 35 countries over an 11-year period. I've never even, she's killing it.
I mean, I just see this is
She
this
gave-
is like the real like gross part of me is like, how's she more successful than me? Like this is bullshit.
She
now.
She went on a
Now I know
U.S.
how Anne felt, like spoiled little brat.
She went on a U.S. tour where she gave lectures, she educated, she advocated for deaf-blind people. She published 14 books.
Wow.
She met 13 U.S. presidents.
What?
She became friends with Eleanor Roosevelt, Mark Twain, Alexander Graham Bell. She received countless awards, including a gold medal award. I don't even know what that is.
Okay,
she won an Oscar.
Wait, what? For what?
She won the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
What did she win an Oscar for?
I don't know.
This is okay. She's
killing it.
She's a fake. She's like she is a
She's
phony.
like Kobe, but she's like blind and deaf.
And this is fucking bullshit. I don't believe it.
So in
First of all,
1960,
okay, we'll wait till the end.
We're towards the end here of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
story of Helen. Yeah,
That's fine.
In 1961, she had a stroke, and it led to her finally retiring from the touring, etc. And on June 1st, 1968, she was weeks away from her 88th birthday. Helen Keller died peacefully in her home.
That's unfortunate. But hey, 88. That's fucking slaying it
That's
for
a lot.
this time
Yeah.
in the world.
She had 1,200 people at her memorial.
Damn. I don't even know 1,200 people.
No. I feel like I'd have 12.
I would, or less.
Yeah.
Why would I have 12? They'd be like
Some
only
fringe,
my family members.
Some fringe guys.
I know. It's like,
Well, I don't know. I have to go to Home Depot.
There
I
was-
don't know if I'll make it.
they only came there for like the free like hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah. That's why I'm only gonna have 12 chairs, so it looks packed.
Slammed.
Yeah.
There's like two people standing. Dude.
Since then, both Helen Keller and Anne Sullivan have been inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. I didn't know there was one.
yeah.
Dude, I really did
about
not
to
know.
say.
Like, no offense to ladies, but I never. Is there a men's Hall of Fame?
No. Well, I mean, history.
Earth.
Sorry. I'm gonna get shit for that one.
History. Hello. Damn, that was legendary.
That was a good one. That was a
fucking
good
great.
one.
So, despite the extensive list of achievements in Helen Keller's life, public doubt continues. I mean,
Dude,
if you go onto TikTok and you search Helen Keller conspiracy, there's
I'm gonna go
thousands
check right now.
thousands of people going, she's a fraud, she's a fake, she's a phony. Like, it was all, it was all Anne. It was all, fraud.
Okay, just think of it this way. Like, and here's one of the main points that seem odd. Is so she went to school and she got a bachelor's degree with honors.
Yeah.
So it takes people who can fully see and fully hear and fully write without any assistance, no finger writing, the same amount of time to get this degree that like literally they have to convert it all to Braille, and then she has to finger hands. I'm like, really?
She's got 6 proctors, and
you
it's
know,
like a whole
and
thing.
like the person who's giving like the lecture on the things, they're like, I'm not gonna fucking convert this to Braille for you. Like, why would I do that? Like,
Figure it out.
yeah, like no way. I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Yeah.
I just see that.
Maybe it was already converted.
I mean, what?
Not just for her.
Maybe she went to like the fucking University of Phoenix, and it was just like it was like this easy breezy.
So many people question Helen Keller's ability to produce 14 books,
Yeah, that seems wild.
475 speeches and essays, often drawing doubt in her ability to physically write them, or type for that matter. To argue this, Helen was known to use a grooved writing board that stimulated writing on a lined paper like sighted people.
Oh, so like as she writes, there's like little lines, so she
Yeah.
knows not to go outside of the line or whatever.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's why we're looking at a letter. You see the other
Yeah, I
letter
was
when she
wondering
was
why it's
older.
like-
When she got
This one?
older,
This one?
well, that was the first one.
Oh.
But then look at
Oh,
the
that's not
older
her.
one.
I don't think
That's
her.
better handwriting.
That's part 1 and 2 of Captain's Letter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Because
sorry.
I'm saying, dude, she's writing fucking ripping cursive all
No.
It's a scam.
like,
It's a scam.
bullshit.
Yeah.
No, this one here, and this is only when she was 7 years old. That's pretty good.
Dude, that's
pretty good.
legit better handwriting than me.
That's pretty good.
But what
Also
is it
for
like-
7.
For seven,
For 7.
deaf, blind. Come on now.
But it's also like, look at like Helen Wright Anna. George will give Helen up. Will Simpson will shoot. Died. Jack will give Helen stick of candy. Doctor will give Mildred medicine. Mother will make Mildred new dress.
The voice slowly keeps coming out.
Okay, so right here, before we get into the
Oh,
conspiracies, I'm going to play.
It is not blindness or deafness that bring me my darkest hours.
Damn, so
How
like
does she know that?
How does she know that?
It is the acute disappointment in not being able to speak normally.
Okay, 475 speeches like this, dog. Get the fuck out of here. I would instantly leave. I'd be like, nope. It's not even. She's speaking a different language. What the fuck is
This
that?
sounds.
I know. Like she sounds like Dory, like speaking whale. And she's like, lately on the capricities of. I'm like,
Okay, so this is the part. This is the statistic that I can't get behind.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
None of the previous ones?
Apparently, she could speak English, Latin, Greek, French, and German.
Okay, this is bullshit. She's a
No.
fucking fraud.
No.
100%. Like, no. She can't.
I've been trying to learn German for like 2 years, and I couldn't even like. If I went to a coffee shop with you, you'd be like, "You're ridiculous. You can't do it."
You can't say.
Yes,
Sean,
yeah.
wie heißt
Ich
das?
Kaffee el Mickes. Vater. But apparently, 5 languages.
Okay, we're gonna play a clip for you just to show you how she speaks, and tell me that she can speak it different.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
no way.
Yeah.
No.
Like, because the language that she's speaking in isn't English.
Yeah.
It's straight up not English.
So a majority of the theories come from. Remember when she left the school because she had a falling out with the Perkins school? Is
No,
that
no. What
you don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It was
she
earlier
was
with
there. She went back there with
Anne.
Anne.
Yeah. And then they had a falling out.
Falling
and
out
then
with the headmaster or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay,
they-
yeah.
They dipped.
And they dipped. So the theories come from the fact that the headmaster was like, "Bro, you're not passing."
Like,
And then they pieced out, and then you know what I mean. That's the theory.
They probably like you could easily set up an agreement like, you want to bring some prestige to your fucking school.
That's right.
I think she needs a bachelor's with honors,
Yeah.
master's degree, advanced masters. She speaks 5 languages, so I've been told.
I translate everything. Trust me.
Trust me. I translate everything. I can understand. We finger talk this shit out all the time. Like,
So essentially, there's mainly like 2 conspiracies behind it, right? One is that she was a fraud, and she knew what she was doing, and she was just smart.
she was just real.
She was
smart.
conniving, like it was a long game.
Yeah.
Oh, she'd been doing it since she was
Long
5. She
game.
was like,
This is like a fucking
first.
Christopher Nolan fucking long game.
At
story.
first, it started when she was 2. They were like,
Yeah.
"No, honey, you cannot have any more biscuits," and she's like, "I'm fucking buying."
Yeah. She's like, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose. I'm gonna.
I
take
can't hear you.
She was basically. It's the theory is that Helen was the first fake it till you make it.
But then she made it. She got like
Yeah.
hella rich. She's like,
Yeah.
just keep faking it.
So then the other theory is that Anne played a major role,
Yeah.
right? And a secretive role in Helen's life, centering on the idea that she never left her side.
I know. It's also like even when she gets married, and it's like, move in with me, Helen. That's what I
Some argue that the speech that Helen learned from Anne wasn't based in truth, and in fact, Anne was making Helen sound more intuitive than she truly was when she was interpreting for her.
Right.
Oh, that's why
right.
she was like, this
Yeah.
fucking, this make it sound legit.
Yeah. So in the clip we played, it would be kind of like me going, okay, so say something extremely intelligent about, like, I don't know, fucking like gravity and la la la. And I'm like, and the things, and then you're translating.
Yeah, and I'd be like, well, if you actually take the covalent bonds of the adjacent carbon there on with the stoichiometry play, then you can see how then the advanced laws of Occam's razor come into play.
For me.
She's like, no, like we're actually serious. Like literally on this
That would
video,
be
like
the-
what she's that is what she
Yeah,
sounds like.
yeah.
It's
But
like
that's the theory is that
She's just saying
Sean
shit.
is making up like an intellectual conversation that
and you were just like saying random shit, and they're like, so you can make the check out to Anne.
exactly. So that's basically, I mean, we kind of dumbed it down into like a simplistic
Well, she
way,
was
but-
pretty much like
Right.
Helen was just like, I just want to have a friend, like I just want to like be with
Yeah.
my homie, and then Anne's like, we can make this thing go.
It's also alleged that Anne may have contributed her own work and essays and exams in her later schooling versus Helen doing it herself. So basically,
Yeah,
like Anne passed and got a degree.
I have a really hard time believing that
Yeah.
she not that she wasn't smart enough to. I'm not saying that. I just have a real hard time that she's gonna like be able to do that. And
Yeah.
maybe if they were like over a 15-year period, she got her degree. Okay, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would make more sense. Other than like
Yeah.
she finished early and she graduated in 2 years with a fucking bachelor. I'm like, what? Fuck out of here, dog.
But I mean, the counter of that is essentially she was just her friend.
I think that,
do you know what I mean? And
no,
she was by her side the whole time, and she
like,
became friends.
Yeah, I get. No, they were totally homies for sure, and that's what I think. I think that like Helen was like, sweet, this is like my only friend. Like, why would I ever want to leave her?
Yeah.
And they could communicate with each other easily, but I think that Anne was more or less like. I'm trying to be that upper middle lower.
Upper middle lower.
I'm trying to go to Whole Foods next weekend. Like, we need to make it go right. Like,
I need that organic beef.
No, seriously, like, I heard they sell fucking ostrich eggs there. Let's go. Like, I'm ready to try it.
So the biggest conspiracy centers around how Helen Keller was able to actually accomplish all the things. I mean, she's basically the Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the presidents and the Medal of Freedom president,
Oscar,
the gold medal. I don't know what the gold medal's for. Just all the things.
Like the world record for the 100-meter dash.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, it's like unbelievable.
So
yeah, she's been to 35 countries.
Yes.
Like,
so the questions are: was she fully blind? Was she fully deaf? Or was she partially deaf, partially blind? Or none at all?
And fake the rest?
Yeah, or none at all. You know what I mean? As most of us can relate to learning words through sounds, Helen Keller had the unique experience of learning words through pure spelling and no sounds.
And then also, too, like, the whole thing, like, obviously I don't really know because I'm not blind or deaf, but, like, with the mouth touching, I'm like, how the fuck? What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
Because she was, like,
trying to figure out how to make
figure
her
out
mouth.
the lips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because also, too, it's like, yeah, how do you even if you learn the alphabet, you don't know how they sound.
Totally.
You don't know how to, like, make a yeah, or making like multiple letters like mouse, like OUs and AUs and like TH.
Maybe
like,
she just had a
English is hard as shit.
Maybe she had a
nothing.
Not to mention she can speak fucking German.
Yeah,
and
fucking Latin,
Brazilian.
Fucking Latin.
she's like reading Sanskrit and shit. Jesus Christ, man!
She's like the Ark of the Covenant.
I know, dude. She's like, yeah, aliens built the pyramids.
Yeah,
I read it.
100%.
Yeah,
I read it.
Yeah. So one of the last
And
stories.
then Anne's like, yep, aliens build pyramids, and that's.
Anne said she was abducted.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, what was that again, Anne? Yes. Okay.
So one of the last stories about her and a feat that she accomplished was that she briefly maneuvered a plane that was flying across the Mediterranean Sea from Rome to Paris.
No,
How? Was she like kicked out, like going to the cockpit?
And I quote, I quote, the plane crew was amazed at her sensitive touch on the controls and explained that she flew the plane calmly and steadily. While this seems like an impossible feat for a deafblind individual, it is. Apparently, she wasn't alone, and she didn't necessarily land it. Her interpreter.
It was Anne.
Her interpreter Polly hand talked her to exchange the pilot instructions, and they were suspended in the air. Supposedly, Helen Keller flew the plane for 20 minutes.
How fast are they with this fucking hand talk? He's like, okay, here's the thing. Like, how fast can you like relay that information?
So we have three things.
Yeah.
We have three things.
Then she drove through gridlock traffic in LA, like alone, and got to the thing. She flew.
She got to North Atlanta from South Atlanta in 10 minutes. Impossible.
It's fucking impossible.
Okay, so there are three things. One, she was lying. And she overdid her abilities. Or she underdid what she actually could do.
She overdid her disabilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
2, Anne did it.
Yep.
Okay. 3, resiliency of man.
You know, while I'd love to.
Do you know what I mean?
Love to believe that
the female. it's not necessarily male or female. It's not a male female thing.
No.
It's more just.
If she was a dude, I would be probably more skeptical.
Yeah. It's more
like,
just.
There's no fucking way he did that.
It's more like what you have to do to survive.
Yeah, totally.
And could you overcome the worst fucking things. You see this in like people who have amputees and they live like a full life. They live more than I do.
Yeah,
Totally.
You
fucking
know, or
Iron
whatever.
Man, like runners with like.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I was like Marvel.
No.
Iron Man did it.
Billionaire playboy built a suit.
He did it hella good. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. They run. They have no legs and they run.
Yeah.
You know, a whole marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the 3 mainstream theories.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that there's just too many. There's too many things that, like, if she would have did like less stuff, I'd be like,
She accomplished less.
Yeah, totally, totally plausible. But like 476 speeches. She published 14
35
books.
countries.
She's like, she has more books published than fucking Harry Potter. I mean, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, are you kidding me?
That's true.
And then she a bachelor's degree with honors. Like,
true.
I just think that it was mostly Anne, and I think maybe Helen wasn't as like fully off the deep end as she was.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think that it was mostly Anne like trying to like play it up. And I think Helen was just like, "Fuck yeah, I'll go along with it because you're my friend."
Oh, so they're together.
I thought they were together. I think that Helen.
Together. But maybe it's not a conspiracy, but they just together decided.
I think.
You know what? We're gonna ride the wave.
I think Anne was like she was like the architect
Yeah.
of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Helen was just like, "Well, you're my only friend. Let's
Okay.
do it." Yeah, she was like,
And-
"Fuck it."
And that even goes back to what you were saying about like survival. Like
Yeah.
that's her only person that she can survive with.
And she's not gonna like, let her go.
Yeah, she like represents.
She's gonna
survival.
do anything.
Yeah.
She's gonna do anything.
Like, whatever
Hey,
she-
so there's a crack pipe here. This is gonna change your life.
It's like,
okay.
There's a crack pipe there.
Yes. I get it. I get what you're saying though.
Yeah, so like
you guys are thinking Anne.
I'm thinking
You're
the
more
same.
Anne
think
is
it's
the guy
more
is the
Anne.
person.
And I'm thinking that, hey, she could have been motivated by that upper, lower, middle, whatever.
lower.
I know.
right?
Oh
Like-
yeah, and it had that rough upbringing. She was like, she saw like, oh, I could live a fucking hot life. Oh, I could live a great life. She's like, I already got like most of my sight back.
And then, not to mention,
what are the-
she
what are the-
also, she was the teacher, so this was also a way for her to be validated or what's the word I'm looking for?
Acknowledged.
Yeah.
And-
Acknowledged,
yeah,
validated.
yeah,
Like,
what I did.
Look
I
at what.
fucking taught her
Exactly.
everything she knows.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Okay.
Honestly, I had never heard
The whole story?
No, I had that too. Honestly, I had never heard the whole story, but I had never heard Helen Keller speak, and after that, it just brought a little bit more clarity as to.
Dude, I'm
as
like,
to-
I
I think that is.
I was
Anne.
expecting to understand like a little bit
a
of it.
little bit.
I didn't, dude. She was fucking speaking Klingon, bro. I have no fucking clue what she said. And then Anne would be like saying some super sophisticated shit. I was like, is she that articulate?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
damn.
Right.
It's like
it seems far fetched that she would understand large concepts.
yeah.
It does.
You know what I mean?
because
I get basic concepts.
in order
like,
to
hey, go to the
finger
bathroom.
explain like
yeah.
in super like
Yeah.
Now,
even, like,
let's assume that it was true that at 6 months old she was talking. I mean, that's pretty young, obviously.
Yeah.
to be
Yeah,
talking, right?
totally.
So she could have been like
I
this
think
super smart.
I don't believe that.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
know,
It's
right?
just
That-
kinda
that's
like-
very.
it's
hard
kinda
to
like-
believe.
It's a parent
Very-
lie.
Yeah, you know what I
Dude,
mean?
my fucking kid.
Also, it's after she's famous.
Oh yeah. Dude,
True.
Like,
when
you know, like-
when she was born,
Yeah.
she had an abacus. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
she was like, she was
You know,
doing
like
taxes.
like all the documentaries about Tom Brady and all the coaches that. You
They're
know,
like, I knew he was different.
I threw a football to him one time in the 7-Eleven parking lot, and I showed him how to twist it a little bit, and then I knew he was special. I knew he was real
I know.
special.
But meanwhile, like in
Yeah.
real life, they're like fucking losers.
I know. They're like,
Look at his
Tom's
fucking
like, I have
dad
no
bod.
idea who this guy is.
No, he's like, look, everyone hated me.
Yeah.
Until
So I
I
kind of chalk that up to like, well, you know, embellishment.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. All right.
So you're thinking along the same lines. Just to make
You know, I kind of am with you guys.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm kind of with you guys a little bit.
I think it's more Anne.
I
Like
think
said,
I
it's
think
more
she
Anne.
was I think she was amazing, and she did things that she had no business doing because of her resiliency and because of her
Totally agree.
because of her whatever.
I
And-
would have given up
yeah
instantly.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think there's probably half the achievements.
I was thinking more like
Well, I don't.
100th of them.
I don't
A
buy that.
1,000th?
I don't buy that she speaks Greek.
No, hell no.
No, well, it's in Braille, but
Yeah.
still. I'm like,
So I don't know if that's her fault or the legend.
the legend's fault.
Do you know what I mean? No, it's 100 years.
She slayed.
You know, the 100
grizzly
years have
bear.
gone by. You know, the 100 years have gone by, and all the stories.
adding
And,
shit.
yeah, exactly.
But
So-
my thing is like, why did she met 13 presidents? Like,
I know.
why? Like,
Well, the
who was her publicist?
overcoming.
Yeah.
They
I
were
know.
like
They were
really
killing
like
it. They were
exceptional
killing
at their
it.
job.
All right. So what did we solve anything?
I think it was Anne, and I think Helen
Okay.
Keller, in her
Okay.
own right, was amazing, and
Okay.
and it's a testament to her ability to fucking overcome.
No.
But there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way
Yeah.
she. No.
Okay.
There's no way she's gonna fucking finger sign 14 books
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
500 speeches
Yeah.
where she's, fucking get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here. I think Anne was really smart, and Anne wanted kind of manipulated her, and then
Yeah.
Helen was like, "Anne's
Okay.
been with me. I'm a ride or die."
Yeah.
Like, she was like, "I'm a ride or die."
Yeah.
All right.
See
Mine.
that?
Mine is
Ride or die, right there. She's like, "I ain't leaving
See
you."
what it says right there?
Yeah.
In our own words.
Helen give Mildred medicine. Helen right. Anna George will give Helen up.
Mine's simply the legend is bigger than the person.
I mean, I think the legend is like,
Okay.
You know.
it's like Are you kidding? You're making it sound like, yeah, you should
No,
get
I mean
most of it.
it's kind of like Billy the Kid. You know, the more you research Billy the Kid,
I'm thinking,
you know,
more
he was
like,
cool.
I'm thinking more like
it was
Indiana
rap.
Jones. Like, it doesn't even exist.
No, I mean it was just like a kid.
like this
it was like
legend.
like Billy the Kid is an example of like it's a 17-year-old kid who went and killed like 3 or 4 people.
Oh, and they were like, he killed
And,
1,000 people.
and who's the
Like,
most famous Western
Outlaw.
of all time?
Yeah. Yeah,
Probably
okay.
Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you go, yeah,
point.
there's nothing more than that. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's mine. Jorge, last words?
No, I
anything?
agree with Sean, actually.
Oh, wow.
Of course. Surprise, surprise.
Man.
Surprise, surprise! surprise, surprise!
All right.
Of course.
There you go.
Great minds think alike.
Well, that's what we got, guys. Thanks again to Bree and Matt. We love you guys.
Love you
and,
guys.
It's a good
You
one.
know?
Thank you, guys.
We'll catch you guys next time on the Conspiracy Podcast.
Nighty night. I was going to be like, I was finger signing Jorge under the table.
Research notes provided by Caprice. Edited by Eric. Produced and hosted by Sean, Jorge, and Eric.